Good morning, folks. I'm here with Carl Knibb just before his exhibition, which starts on Friday. Carl and his wife Joss have just brought in his 15 magnificent paintings, so I'm just going to ask him one or two questions. I don't know who's more nervous, actually, me or him.
Me.
We'll decide. Okay. Carl, your training, did you have any formal training with art college or whatever?
I went to a one-year fine art diploma course in Sutton Coldfield, which was meant to carry on into a fine art degree, but for some reason I went and did graphic design instead, which was awful. So I downgraded to a HND in graphic design and got that, and never used it again, never did any graphic design ever again. So apart from that, I am essentially self-taught. I've learned from when I was a kid looking at comic books, and as an adult looking at fantastic art, and just wasting many hours staring at paintings and figuring out how it was done and how I could possibly try and do something similar.
Like most artists, it's
Yeah.
funny when people come in and say, has so-and-so or have I trained at college, and I say, no, most of us haven't been to art college, and they look astonished.
Yes, but
Because
that's the thing, that as an artist though, it's a constant evolution. You're
Yeah, it
always
is,
learning.
yes.
There's no, you don't get a degree and that's it, you're a great artist.
Yeah.
That comes later.
And sadly, at art college, they don't actually teach you to paint
No.
as such, do they?
I don't think I
It's,
saw a tutor once in that year of fine
Yeah,
art.
it
course.
tends to be more about installations, which is sad, really.
Yes,
They don't teach
yeah.
you to actually paint. There we are. Okay, so you're like most of us, self-taught.
Yeah, making it up as I go.
Making exactly. Now, I first saw you on Sky Landscape Artist of the Year in 2018, and
Yes.
immediately I thought, this guy we've got to have for the gallery. He is brilliant. And you did this wonderful painting of Fountains Abbey,
Fountains
wasn't it,
Abbey.
in Yorkshire?
Yes, yeah.
Sort of ethereal, semi-abstract, but a lot of reality in it. It was
Yeah,
brilliant, I thought.
I tried to bring out the gothic of the place.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, it suited it perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely wonderful painting, and that's when I grabbed you quickly before anybody else.
You did, and I was most pleased and surprised.
Yes, we're very pleased to have you. And you've recently been on Alan Titchmarsh's Love Your Weekend.
Yes.
Saw you on that.
Yes.
Another wonderful bit of television promotion.
Oh,
How did you do it?
I don't know. I think I'm just lucky.
You're brilliant. That's why I did. That's what it
Just
is.
a call out of the blue. I was delighted to do it. It poured down with rain all day, and I didn't have long to do it. I've never done a demo in 3 minutes before. That was unusual
that was fast.
on television.
I didn't realise it did rain. It didn't really show that on me.
Yeah, it poured down.
Oh, right.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Better. And just before that, you were voted one of the National Trust top 10 paintings in
Yes,
Britain.
apparently so.
What an accolade!
Yeah, I'm still speechless about that one. I didn't know. People just started contacting me and telling me, and yeah, so it was a lovely thing.
Yeah. And then again, that was that Fountains Abbey? They saw
It was the Fountains Abbey.
Yeah.
One. Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Just one. I've actually got a small printout here, my crib sheet. I don't think the camera will really pick it up. You get the idea. Fantastic.
I haven't seen that.
How many are?
Yes.
See, have a look.
Can I have a look? Oh, it's rubbish.
Great stuff. Now I asked you a little bit earlier before we went on camera, why acrylic? You tend to paint in acrylic at the moment.
Yeah, I used to paint in oils all the time, and for some reason I think I started to develop an allergy to the terps and some of the mediums, and the smell of the oils itself. I would find myself halfway through a painting and then sort of staggering around the studio as if I'd been on a bender. So I tried acrylics, simply for health purposes, if nothing else. And I just seem to have stuck with them ever since, because they don't have the beauty of oils. And I understand they are considered somewhat less than, although I think that opinion is changing. A lot of artists use it. But well, I've just got used to them, and I like the way they are. I like the way I can handle them now. And I think they sort of look like oil paintings.
They do.
Not
I was
quite.
just going to say, here's one of Carl's in close. You can see the ones behind us, but they might be a little bit bleached out with the camera. But here's one, and doesn't that just glow with light? And I wouldn't have known, even as a professional artist myself, that this wasn't an oil painting. It's every bit as good. Just fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic work. The mark making is out of this world.
You do have to work a little bit harder with the acrylics to get that effect.
Yes.
The oils tend to just give it to you, you know, for free sometimes.
Yeah.
But,
Well, you wouldn't know any difference.
it means I'm still semi-sane as well.
Yes.
Because the oils aren't.
Yeah, that's great. And here's another one. I was going to say that you tend to paint a lot of contre-jour subjects, i.e. painting into the sunlight.
Yes, I do.
Thank
It's
you.
just something I've become fascinated with over the last 6-7 years, that
Yeah.
look.
And a lot of these paintings are contre-jour. Here's one, another one, looking straight into the light. And as I said in my newsletter, you need to wear sunglasses really to look at Carl's paintings. They just glow with light.
So you
All
can't see
done
them.
with, yeah, all done with paint. It's just extraordinary. Wonderful halos of light around those figures. Look at that. Just extraordinary. Now I was going to ask you about. Sometimes you come out with us painting on plein air.
Yes, not as often as I'd like. I'm going to, I keep saying this, but I'm going to try and make it a more regular thing.
Try and extract you from the studio. But do you tend to prefer to work more in the studio anyway? The way you work?
I've become accustomed to it. So there's part of me that feels like, yes, that's what I do. But every time I go out and paint, I remember that this is true painting.
Yeah.
And I'm also aware of how out of practice I am at it. I would like to do more plein air. I would like to get out more. And
You're much the same as me.
Yeah.
I enjoy working in the studio, but it's, as you say, when you get outside and you're painting
Yeah.
from life, it's
the spontaneity of the work is,
yeah.
you can't compare it. I've got no objection to coming back to the studio to put finishing touches. I think that's acceptable because the weather doesn't always
Exactly.
allow you to complete a piece. But
Yeah.
I've got to get out into the fresh air. I'm too pale. I need some sun.
Vitamin D, vitamin D absorption. Yeah, I think we all are, aren't we? Especially after the last couple of years.
Wow, I've not been able to get out at all.
Yeah.
Even, yeah, awful for everybody, not just painters, but just been stuck indoors for 2 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a bit negative.
Sorry. Not at all. Right then, Carl, I think that's pretty much wrapped it up. You're an incredible talent, and this exhibition of 15 new paintings is just wonderful. So
Thank you.
please come and have a look at Carl's work. You won't be disappointed. It's just superb, and it's priced very well too. His prices are going to go up with all this television publicity.
Yes.
So fingers crossed. Thank you very much, Carl.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye
Miss.
for now.
Bye.